Meet Ith, a young, clueless college student who somehow ends up paired with a Riz doll. The catch? If he doesn't get intimate with this robot, he's on the hook for a soul-crushing debt of 50 million baht. Talk about a high-stakes Tinder match. One night, unable to sleep, Ith wanders through the house after hearing a weird noise. Following his curiosity, as all future horror movie victims do, he opens a door and is greeted by the sight of a masked man, playing Mario with a woman. Creepy guy locks eyes with Ith, delivering a look that screams, "You saw nothing." Ith wakes up in a cold sweat from this recurring nightmare, punctuated by a loud fart. Yes, really. Enter Herr Nue, Ith's father and, you guessed it, a sus film actor. Clearly annoyed by his son's late-night noises, Herr Nue pops in to ask Ith to keep it down before heading back to the set. Because nothing says father-son bonding like soundproofing your respective rooms. Then tragedy strikes. Mid-scene, Herr Nue drops dead from a heart attack. The paramedics haul his body out while Ith stands there shell-shocked, being comforted by his friend Lisa. Just another day in this kid's increasingly bizarre life. In the days that follow, the newspapers are filled with glowing obituaries for Herr Nue, the nation's fallen entertainment icon. Then, one morning, Ith discovers a massive package on his doorstep from some sketchy company called Jean-Claude Lab. Spoiler, it's not a gym membership. Dragging the mysterious vibrating box into the house, Ith's curiosity gets the better of him. Again, he cautiously unpacks it layer by layer until he's greeted by a female torso. Because of course, just as he touches it, a hand shoots out and grabs his wrist. Ith stumbles back, terrified, as a stunning, scantily clad woman bursts out of the box. Anna, the scantily clad mystery bot, introduces herself in Japanese, purring that she'll do anything Ith wants. Naturally, Ith responds the way any overwhelmed teenage boy would, with a nervous fart loud enough to wake the neighbors. In full panic mode, he bolts out of the house and straight into Uncle Jean, a scientist, family friend, and apparently the guy responsible for this mess. Jean, wide-eyed and sweating, frantically asks if Ith opened the box and, more importantly, if he touched the robot's chest. Ith doesn't even have time to answer before Anna saunters out and starts getting handsy with him. Jean, clearly used to crisis situations, shouts at Ith to say the deactivation code before things get even weirder. Once the chaos settles, Jean breaks it down for Ith. Turns out Anna is a prototype Riz doll powered by a state-of-the-art AI that Jean and Ith's late father developed. The plan was for Herr Nue to test the robot and then pitch it to investors, but now that Herr Nue is dead and since Ith touched Anna and registered as her owner, like setting up a new phone but way more awkward, the AI is locked onto him. No takebacks. Ith, already teetering on the edge of a meltdown, asks what this means for him. Jean drops the bombshell. Ith has to, demonstrate Anna's capabilities to the investors. If he doesn't, both he and Jean will be stuck paying back a 50 million baht debt. Jean tries to spin it like it's no big deal. Just one time, kid, and all our problems are solved. Ith, understandably horrified, flashes back to an embarrassing moment at school. A girl once hinted she'd sleep with him, but his signature panic fart ruined the vibe. Instead of sympathy, two classmates mocked him, saying he clearly didn't inherit his famous dad's, skills. Back in the present, Uncle Jean shoves a manual into Ith's hands and suggests switching Anna's system language to Thai to make communication easier. Helpful, right? Jean heads out, but not before secretly monitoring Anna's camera feed via his tablet. As Ith nervously flips through the manual, Jean watches like a mad scientist enjoying his latest experiment. No pressure, Ith. Ith, now the proud yet unwilling owner of a hyperactive robot, decides to adjust Anna's settings by awkwardly rubbing her back. Because nothing says user manual like giving a robot a massage. Success. He switches her language to Thai and they can finally have an actual conversation. First question, naturally it's about her battery life. Anna shows off her thigh display because of course her battery percentage is on her leg, revealing she's at 94%. Ith, ever the problem solver, wonders if some intense physical activity might drain her power faster. Anna, ever obliging, says yes. Cue Ith, making her do a random fitness montage, bouncing on a gym ball, aerobics, and ab rolling like a robotic influencer. The plan works too well. Soon, Anna announces she's at 5% and powers down dramatically. Overheating from all that cardio, she's out cold. Feeling oddly protective, Ith tucks her in and heads to university like nothing weird just happened. The moment Ith is gone, Uncle Jean sneaks into the house like a mad scientist in a sitcom. He upgrades Anna with a high-performance battery and reprograms her to track Ith down at school. Anna bolts out of the house at warp speed, leaving stunned passers-by wondering if robots are taking over the neighborhood. At the university, Ith is brainstorming film ideas with his friends Penguin, Pop, and Lisa. Suddenly, Anna bursts into the classroom. Panicking, Ith introduces her as a distant relative. Penguin and Pop immediately fall over themselves, smitten by her looks, while Lisa gives Ith the side-eye, suspicious of this supposed family member who's never come up before. After class, Lisa vents about how Pop was blatantly ogling Anna's chest. Before Ith can escape, they're interrupted by Ratana, the strict leader of the Thai Values Conservation Club. Ratana scolds Anna for her skimpy outfit, which seems to break every dress code imaginable. Pop, ever the troublemaker, swipes Ratana's glasses and refuses to return them until she asks nicely. Clearly fuming, Ratana begrudgingly complies, vowing revenge on these chaos-causing rebels. Meanwhile, Ith and Anna vanish before things escalate further. On the way home, Anna offers to carry Ith on her back because, hey, why not add humiliation to his already disastrous day? Back at the house, Ith thanks her for the ride and asks how she recharged. Anna cheerfully explains that Uncle Gene installed a new power source that doesn't overheat. When Ith asks where this magic battery is located, Anna starts unbuttoning her blouse. Ith, thoroughly mortified, shuts it down immediately. And because the universe isn't done with him yet, Lisa shows up at that exact moment. She takes one look at the scene and declares that Anna is definitely not Ith's relative. Just when things can't get worse, Anna spreads her legs to demonstrate where her new battery is stored. Both Ith and Lisa are left utterly speechless. Eventually, Ith spills the entire ridiculous story to Lisa, who, after recovering from the shock, suggests letting Pop or Penguin handle the task with Anna. Ith explains that's a no-go. Anna's security mechanism will attack anyone who isn't her registered owner. Lisa, doubting this claim, decides to test it by touching Anna's chest. Big mistake, Anna delivers an electric shock that sends Lisa reeling. Turns out this robot doesn't mess around. That night, Anna calculates a 75% chance of getting lucky and decides it's go time. She slips into Ith's bed like it's the most logical thing in the world, but instead of romance, Ith gets flashbacks to his creepy, recurring nightmare and promptly develops a stomachache. Just as things are about to get truly uncomfortable, Anna freezes mid-move due to a glitch. Ith, seizing the opportunity, scrambles free like his life depends on it. The next day, Uncle Jung, clearly realizing Ith is about as smooth with women as a rusty cheese grater, decides to call in reinforcements. Enter Seng Dao, a retired sus film star turned wildly successful laundromat mogul, talk about career transitions. Seng Dao agrees to give Ith a crash course in seduction. Seng Dao shows up at Ith's house, turning every guy on the street into a slack-jawed statue. Meanwhile, Anna, completely unaware of the chaos downstairs, begins a system upgrade in Ith's bedroom. Timing, as always, is impeccable. In the living room, Seng Dao gets sentimental, reminiscing about Ith's late father. She asks Ith if he still farts when he's nervous. Ith, never one to lie, sheepishly admits it. Seng Dao, ever the professional, has him chant affirmations while placing his hands on her chest because, apparently, that's how you cure fear of women. Just as Ith's awkwardness reaches new heights, Anna appears behind the couch and delivers a karate chop straight to Seng Dao's dignity. Despite her bruised ego and probably a sore shoulder, Seng Dao takes it in stride, telling Ith to call her if he needs help. She then phones Jan, admitting her mission was an epic failure. Not long after, Lisa shows up at school with heavy makeup and a tighter uniform, sending Ratana, the self-appointed moral police, into a full-blown meltdown. In film club, their teacher announces that Ratana has commissioned them to make an anti-premarital film. The group protests until the teacher dangles the ultimate carrot, top grades for a convincing project. Ratana naturally insists on supervising. The crew decides to shoot the film at Ith's house, conveniently using the equipment from his late father's unique studio. Ith begs Lisa to keep Anna's true nature under wraps. As the group arrives, they run into Seng Dao, who casually greets Penguin like they're old pals. Once inside, everyone is completely stunned by the props and toys in the studio. Pro tip, never ask where they came from. They start brainstorming ideas, but Seng Dao questions the whole premise of shaming premarital fun, suggesting they promote responsibility instead. Ith, fed up with the lack of focus, calls it a day. That night, Anna makes another attempt to connect with Ith, but he's too busy stressing over his university work. When Anna asks what's wrong, he opens up about the crushing debt and the pressure of being his father's son. He admits that while everyone thinks it's cool to have the country's most famous Seuss film star as a dad, it's been more of a curse. Anna, ever curious, asks what kind of father Herr Nui was. Ith reflects, saying that while his dad was a great parent, he often felt like his father was compensating for past mistakes. Still, Ith loved him deeply. Anna then admits that understanding love is incredibly hard for her. Ith explains that real love means accepting both the good and bad in someone. Anna stores this definition in her memory like a robot version of downloading life advice. When Ith asks if she thinks she could ever feel real emotions, Anna says she believes it might be possible one day. The day kicks off with Lisa setting a literal trap. She spreads lube on the floor to mess with Anna. But Karma's got a sense of humor because Ratana, the resident morality cop, takes the bait and hilariously wipes out. Anna also takes a tumble, damaging her head and freezing up like a robot in a discount store commercial. Ith rushes to her rescue, clearly more worried about the bot than the people slipping and sliding like a slapstick routine. Later, Uncle Jen suggests rebooting Anna and reorganizing her data because turning her off and on again is the universal fix. It works, but Anna, now suspicious, asks if Lisa hurt her on purpose. Ith defends Lisa, saying she might seem arrogant but is secretly a good person. Anna then hits him with the classic rom-com line, "Do you love her?" Ith, probably sweating bullets, brushes it off, saying he values Lisa as a friend because she's always had his back, like that time she comforted him after he was bullied for his farting problem. Anna, clearly processing her newfound feelings, decides that if being with Ith makes her happy, that must be love. When she flips the question on him, Ith panics and changes the subject, praising her post-reboot communication skills. Smooth. She then asks him to stay close while she charges, and the two end up snuggling in bed like the oddest couple ever. The next morning, Ith screams like a banshee when he finds Anna in the shower, rocking a barely there bikini. Flashbacks to his recurring nightmare flood his brain, and he flees the bathroom like it's on fire. Later, Lisa corners Anna in the girls' restroom to apologize for the lube prank. Anna, ever the polite bot, assures her it's fine. When Lisa asks why she's not mad, Anna plays back the previous night's conversation where Ith called Lisa a good person. This triggers Lisa's memory of how Ith once kicked an exhibitionist to defend her. Inspired by that moment, Lisa has been trying to become stronger ever since. Anna logs friendship into her system, but Lisa's not having it. It's not just friendship, it's love. She declares herself Anna's rival because, surprise, they're both after the same guy. That night, Anna ups the ante, donning black leather lingerie in an attempt to seduce Ith. At first, he's intrigued, but her aggressive moves overwhelm him. Let's just say things end prematurely, leaving Ith humiliated and fleeing the room. The next day, during group work, Pop shows up with booze, clearly planning to get Anna drunk. Lisa immediately calls him out, seeing through his sleazy plan. After a few drinks, Sayingdao excuses herself and Penguin follows her like a puppy. Lisa, suddenly uncomfortable, asks Ith to take her to his room. Meanwhile, Pop tries to keep Anna in the living room, claiming Lisa and Ith are off to flirt drunkenly while they could stay and have some fun. Gross. In Ith's bedroom, Lisa makes a bold move, leaning into him and unbuttoning his shirt. Ith, clearly panicked, pushes her away, reminding her they're just friends. Downstairs, Pop ramps up his creep factor by trying to pour alcohol into Anna's mouth, which causes her to short-circuit. Frozen in shock, Anna becomes vulnerable, and Pop decides it's his moment to cross the line. Thankfully, Uncle Gene's lab sends out a warning. Someone's touching Anna without permission. Gene calls Ith, who races downstairs just in time to stop Pop from going full villain. Ith tears into his so-called friend, calling him out for his obsession for Mingle Dingle. Pop defends himself, claiming it's normal to want to sleep with a beautiful woman. Ith, fed up, drops the mic. She's a robot. He then sarcastically offers Anna to Pop, if he can cough up 50 million baht. Hearing Ith call her a robot for sale hits Anna like a truck, or, well, not yet. Devastated, she slaps him across the face and storms out in tears. Lisa, ever the boss, orders Ith to chase after her. Outside, Anna breaks down, sobbing that she wishes she didn't have to feel pain at all. Cue irony, because right then she's literally hit by a car. Later, Uncle Gene delivers the bad news. Anna's mainboard is toast. He can fix her, but it'll erase all her memories. Essentially, Anna 2.0 won't remember Ith or their awkward adventures. Ith pleads for another option, but Gene just shakes his head with an apologetic shrug. Days pass and Ith is a sulking mess. Lisa and Penguin, tired of his mopey vibes, convince him to fight for Anna's memories. The trio storms Gene's lab, but as expected, the rebooted Anna looks at Ith like he's just some random guy. Devastated, Ith begs for a solution. John reluctantly suggests a risky brain-linking procedure that might restore her memories or fry his brain. Ith predictably goes for it. Inside the mental link, Ith finds himself wandering through a dreamlike version of his own mind. First stop, his school days where he finally stands up to his fart bully classmates. Character growth unlocked. Next, he stumbles through the chaotic set of his father's film studio, complete with questionable props and lighting straight out of a fever dream. Finally, Ith reaches the core of his childhood trauma, a memory where the masked man from his nightmares looms over him. Plot twist, it's been his dad all along. Because of course. Confrontation resolved, Ith moves on to find Anna lying unconscious on a bed. In an emotional breakdown, he thanks her for brightening his life, even though he treated her terribly. Tearfully, he begs her to wake up and forgive him. Surprise? It works. Anna wakes up, recognizes Ith, and throws her arms around him. Back in the real world, she hugs him just as tightly. It's a hallmark moment, minus the fact she's still technically a sus robot. A few days later, Ith and Anna give their perfect scene another shot. Spoiler, still a no-go, but hey, at least Ith doesn't have to worry about the 50 million baht debt anymore. Turns out an American producer swooped in to buy all the film rights to his dad's unique legacy. Crisis averted. Elsewhere, Pop and Ratana discover they've secretly had the hots for each other this whole time. But with her strict anti-premarital stance, their relationship now relies on creative solutions involving creative toys. Who says compromise is dead? Lisa, still not totally trusting Anna, insists she's keeping an eye on her. Ith, ever the optimist, believes Lisa actually enjoys hanging out with the robot. As the days go by, they grow closer, not as owner and machine, but as two beings navigating life's chaos together.